Hello everyone, Brandon's Aquariums and Terrariums. So this is the water area of the White's Tree Frog Paludarium. There's a whole another video on that you can watch, but I wasn't able to get too much footage of the water area, so that's what we're going to do today. So there are a couple kinds of fish in the tank. The first of whom is a Bolivian ram. His name is Spike, and I really enjoy having him. I got him a couple of months ago, and he's probably one of my favorite fish, and one of the few that actually has a name. He's a boy, and my brother wants to get him a girlfriend, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. He is very shy, and he doesn't really come out when the camera's around, but usually he swims around most of the day. He's also dug some pits and caves for females, which there are none in the tank. So most of the setup is his, actually, the water area. So his territory is pretty much everything from there to up to here in the back area. This area is where he sleeps. It's also very dark in the back, so he can hide there if he likes. And he usually scares the tetras out, but right now he's just over there because, I don't know, he's just a little bit scared of the camera. And next are the serpae tetras. These are red coral serpae tetras. There are 6 of them in here, but I've seen 5 around recently. They're very active and lively, and they really don't bother any other fish. I've seen online that lots of the time they're really aggressive and nip fins, but these guys are all pretty chill. They're also a lot harder than neon tetras, so if you're looking for a beginner tetra, definitely get these guys instead. They're mostly a reddish-orange color, but they have a little bit of yellow on their dorsal fin with a spot of black, and they're very, very pretty. They're probably my second favorite schooling fish next to white cloud mountain minnows. They're just a ton of fun and very active, and fun to feed as well. Now for the actual tank setup. So there's a very, very large piece of driftwood. Not very large, but around 1.5 foot long piece of driftwood that I collected in my backyard that lives in here. It has some algae collecting, but I think it looks pretty cool in here, and the fish love it as well. There's also a larger branch that sticks out of the top that the frogs enjoy taking their naps on. It also goes into the bottom, and Spike likes to hide behind it. For planting, it's very sparse. There's some pennywort here that I collected in my backyard. It's doing pretty well underwater. Some crypts and some vallisneria. The vallisneria has been sending out a lot of runners. They send out some little offshoots and they spread around. They're pretty much an underwater grass. The frogs also, sometimes if they fall in the water, they use it to help get out. And there's also this plant that grows on land that's been spreading out in the water right here. It's really interesting. I'm wondering what it's going to do. I've never seen it or any other kind of plant do that before. There's a bit of hornwort that I threw in to see what it does. It's very hardy, and the fish like having it in there as well. There's also quite a bit of algae, like right there, and it grows on the glass. I'm fine with algae. I did a whole video on why I like having it, but I probably should clear it off just because of how much there is. There's just some normal aquarium sand at the bottom, as well as some large rocks that are also building the background up to the land of the frog tank. As for filtration, there's a sponge filter right behind the stump coming out of the water, as well as some other things too. The waterfall rushes down here, which keeps the water from going too stagnant. Although all these fish are used to areas very similar to this, where it's minimal flow and a lot of debris in the water. So the other thing that's in here are leaf litter. Just like the stuff on the land, what would happen in the wild is there'd be a large tree, and all of the leaves would just fall underneath. If there's a creek or a pond in your backyard, you'll probably notice why the water's tea-colored. That's pretty much this is pretty much tea that they're swimming in. It's just heavily tanned water, and it's very acidic. It's low pH, probably around 6 at least. I forget the last time I checked the pH, but everything in here is fine in these kinds of waters. That's about it for the water area of the White's Tree Frog Paludarium. Maybe in the future we'll do some care guides on all these fish if you're interested on how to learn to keep serpae tetras and Bolivian rams. But, like Spike over here, now he's out, that's his normal area. But I hope to see everyone on the next one, and goodbye.